Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com. I'm here to share my Facebook Live with you. And this is my second weekly Facebook Live. I'm here every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And I'm also here on Thursdays at 2 o'clock. And Sue is here with me. I'm so glad to see you today, Sue. Hope you're having a good week. And Diana is here. Welcome, welcome. We are having warm temperatures here in south central Texas. Kind of depends on how you want to characterize us. It's mainly just humid. I mean, it's high 80s, but it's just really humid. So Diana, I saw some of your vacation photos. You've had quite the travels this year, I think, and good for you. I tell you, I'm feeling not having had a vacation this year, just because of the whole COVID thing. So my husband was able to, hey Pat, I'm glad you're here. My husband was able to go down and visit with his sister a little bit earlier this year, but I'm going away for Thanksgiving with my husband. We're going down for some family time in South Florida, which is where his sister and her family are. And so I'll be gone for, I think it's about 10 days, maybe it's 8. But I'm really excited. So, hey there, Gail, I'm glad you're here. Well, I'm only gonna give it a couple of minutes here and dive in. I've got a fun Christmas card for you today. Hey, Susan, I'm glad you're here with us. I've got simple and stepped up stamping. That's what we do on Thursday. I like to change things up a bit and not have everything the same. So my Tuesdays are Teach Me Tuesdays, so we always learn something a little bit more in depth. Hey Mary, I'm glad you're here. So we did a fun fold card. In fact, I meant to bring that over here to just I like to review the previous week. So once I turn the camera down, I will probably go and grab that really quick and show you what my inspiration is. And then we are going to head into our project for today. I thought I had, yep, my holiday catalog is right here. So I know I still call it the holiday catalog. It's technically the August to December mini catalog, but we are going to go with the hashtag simple stamping. Is something that Stampin' Up! Created, I think about 1.5 years ago. And it really celebrates the simplicity of stamping. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here. And so it's really about stamps, ink, and paper. And sometimes it's just stamps, ink, and paper. And then sometimes they add like one other element. And so through October, the hashtag simple stamping is stamps, ink, and paper plus ribbon. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then we're gonna step it up just a wee bit. Mary, I'm glad you're here on time so you catch the entire broadcast in live time. Of course, you can always watch the replay, which is the great thing about Facebook Live. So I'm trying to find what page my stamp set is on, which is why I keep looking down. Ah, there we go, page 41. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the camera down and show you where I'm going to take you today for simple and stepped up stamping. Here we go. Sorry, I hope I'm not all cattywampus here. It looks like the camera's a little bit angled, kind of funny. So let me just get it on my computer so I can see what you're seeing. I'm gonna grab my card from Tuesday. As I said, we did a fun fold on Tuesday, and I did give you the inspiration sheet so that you could reproduce that if you so wish with all the measurements on it. So of course it's telling me that it's not going to show my video right now, so I don't know what you're seeing. Hopefully you're not just seeing my arms. Hopefully you're seeing my stamping surface here, ready to go. My desk is an absolute wreck, so hopefully you're not seeing all of that. Yes, there we go. Okay, oh, not too bad. Okay, let's see if I can bring you, yeah, maybe we'll just leave it there instead of trying to get it any better. I do see you're kind of at an angle. Let me see if I can, you know what I think it is? Part of it is I've got this pop socket on my phone, and I think that it's kind of sticking out and making things a little bit wonky. Okay, so if you haven't already guessed, we are using Light Me Home. I adore this stamp set. This is one of the things that first caught my eye the very first time I opened this catalog. And really, Stampin' Up! Has already shown you how you can take a super simple version of this stamp set, just stamps, ink, and paper. Here, they've added a little bit of gold cord. And then here they've added a die cut, as well as a little bit of color. Now, this is the kind of stamp set to me that I look at and I think, I love this stamp set, but I do not want to do all that coloring. I mean, I might do one card like that. You know, I give you all of my secrets here. You'll know that if you ever get a card from me with a bunch of coloring on it, I mean, you know, consider yourself especially worthy of getting that card, because I love coloring, but I'm going to love coloring one time. I'm not going to make 15 of these colored. So let me just show you another inspiration that I had for this, and this is kind of what keyed me off. So this was a card that I got in a swap, and I don't know if you can see it, if it's showing up on the camera. Hopefully it is. What this lady has done, this was Ruth Murphy who created this swap, and what she's done is she's done just a little bit of color here using a blender pen to bleed out a little bit of the color on that tree, and then she's got a little bit of color on this bow, and that's it. So this is kind of the inspiration for where I'm going to go today. So let me show you what we're going to do. So here is my stamp set, and I wanted to kind of go start to finish on this with you, at least as far as the setting up the stamp. Because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this with Stamparatus, and I'll tell you why. Two reasons. Number one, this stamp is so large that it requires the very largest stamp block that we have. I can't remember the name of the block. They're all by letters. But that block for me is I have to put my entire hand around it like this. It's really a bit unwieldy for me. And so I find that the Stamparatus is a lot easier for me to use. Now, the Stamparatus is our stamping positioning tool, and it's super fun to use, really easy to use. One of my top tips is to have a stamp case right next to you, because when you open this arm, and this comes with 2 plates. I'm only using one today, so I only have the one here. But when you open this, instead of having it fall all the way onto my table, I like to have this right here. Gail, you're asking which dies. This is the Ornate Layers dies, and I strongly considered using that today. But I opted to not go with any Big Boss elements and just stick with stamps, ink, and paper and a little bit of embellishment. So what I'm going to do is I am going to set up my stamp, and I guess I need to do this the opposite way because I'm upside down for you guys. So let me go this way, because that way I can still stamp from the right. And I'm going to position. Now I wanted to show you, this is one of the accessories you can get for your Stamparatus, and this is just like quarter sheets of our grid paper, but it's a little bit different as well. On this side, you have a little different grid than our traditional grid paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this up for easy stamping. And one other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab on the back here, it does come with these 2 magnets. They're super, super strong, and you don't want them to touch each other because it will be very difficult to get them apart. This is to just secure your paper, and I used to put washi tape around these, but I found that the washi tape, the little handle on the washi tape would wear out, and I just found packing tape, you know, it's that item that I absolutely love to have in my stamp room at all times. Has a whole host of uses, and I find it just makes a great handle here. So what I'm going to do is I have cut and I will get the measurement for you because I can't remember. It's a little bit of an odd size on this measurement that I've done. And I've really done a measurement that only is really just going to, I'm going to be able to, I guess it would be easier if I did it this way. Let me put my piece of cardstock here, and I'm just kind of positioning it so that it's going to be pretty easy to, you know, I probably do need a second magnet just to be sure. Let me just do that. Okay. Now, let me put my stamp on here. You can see that what I've done is I've created a piece of cardstock that really, or cut, I didn't create it. I just cut a piece of cardstock that's really going to just create my scene. It's just going to be a frame for that scene, and that's all that there is. Now, this particular one is done with the navy, Night of Navy. I do like this. This reminds me of willow ware china. And so that's kind of the vibe I was using, I was going with today. But when, one of my favorite pieces of china that we ever had, or it wasn't china, it was everyday like crockery. But we had, when we lived in England, we had a little set, and it was all brown and white, and I absolutely loved it. But we ended up with several pieces that were chipped or broken, so we ended up not bringing it home with us. And then when I went to try to find some, it was really expensive. You know, china and crockery tends to be very, very affordable in England because they make a lot of it there. And I found that it was not nearly as affordable here, so I've never replaced that. Now, the other thing I like about using the Stamparatus on a stamp like this is it's very, very heavy on the detail. And sometimes, if your pressure is not strong enough, you'll need to go back over it. Honestly, this is pretty good. Everything on here is very evenly stamped. However, I'm going to go back over it one time, and I'm going to just make it a little bit darker. I am using soft suede. This would also be beautiful with very vanilla and soft suede. It gives it a much more of a vintage feel, and that's what I was going for here. So that, you see how that's just really kind of brought it out, just really kind of, the definition is much higher. Now, I don't actually need to clean this because I'm going to use the same color to do another card. In fact, let me just go ahead and do another one while I have it out. You know, that was kind of dumb. I just messed up. What I should have done was put a little hashtag around, not a hashtag, but a little mark. Let me grab my pen here. This is where I need to position my piece of cardstock. That way I won't have to reposition the stamp again. So I'm going to go ahead and make another one of these so that my stepped up version, I'm going to do my simple and then I'm going to do my stepped up, but the stamping is going to be the same. So I'm just securing a couple of the corners here. That's so that when I lift the stamp off of here, it doesn't lift the paper and it doesn't shift it. Hey, Avenel, I'm glad you joined us. We're doing a little simple and stepped up stamping with Light Me Home. Beautiful stamp set. I will tell you that if you have a bunch of Christmas cards to make, this is definitely the way to go. Not only with Stamparatus, but also with a stamp that kind of does everything for you and really has a lot of impact. Personally, my favorite images for Christmas are all traditional. I like traditional Christmas. I like traditional ornaments. I like traditional decor. And so this is right up my alley. Okay, so there we have two of the same stamped image. And that means I can put this away. What I'm going to do is I've just cut a chamois in half, and I do find that that is the easiest way to clean. When you're cleaning your stamps on the Stamparatus, if you try to use your entire chamois, it just gets a little bit, I don't know, my hands are fairly small. It's a little bit cumbersome. So I like to have just a little half of a chamois, and that is what I'm using there. Now, one other thing I'm going to do is, not only am I going to put away my stamp, And although, you know, I said that I would not personally want to do a lot of coloring on this gorgeous stamp, this would be a fun stamp to engage your grandkids with. And they would have a great time using some blends or some watercolor pencils on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magnets, I'm going to put them on opposite sides here so that as I'm closing this up, you have little kind of little divots there to put your magnets, and that way they are easily stored. So that is ready to go back in my cupboard. I've cleaned it and everything. I was so bad Tuesday. I didn't clean anything. So when I came over here, I had all of my stuff here from Tuesday. I was very naughty. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to just layer this onto a piece of, to a card base. And let me just show you how this comes together so quickly and so easily. This is a, why does my mind go blank when I'm getting on here? This is crumb cake, and I'm just going to very simply put this on here. I'm not even going to mat it or anything. I could, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use a little pop of color. I'm going to use Real Red, and I'm going to bring in this stamp. It is one of the greeting stamps here. There are From Our Home to Yours, with heartfelt wishes for a wonderful season, feeling grateful for the blessing of your friendship. These could be used from the outside or the inside. You know, you could mix and match these, which I think is a really nice opportunity there. So let me just pull this here, and From Our Home to Yours. I could have just set this up on Stamparatus, but I opted just to use a clear block. And you could, to fancy it up a little bit, to make it a little bit more, you know, give it a little bit more interest, you could definitely put this on a punched shape. But I mean, look at how simple that is. I mean, super, super simple. I think it's really gorgeous. So let's see what we can do. All we're going to do on this one is we're going to add a little bit of ribbon, and I'll show you how the ribbon really transforms this. Well, come on, there we go. There we go. And you can see that this uses just a minimum of supplies. Now, do I want to go down here, or do I want to go in the center? You know what? I think I'm going to bring it down there. I've got a little bit of, I usually keep a, what do you call it, an emery board over here, and I don't see one. I've got just a little bit of where my cutting blade didn't quite cut through there. Well, I have to leave it. I think I'm just going to go in the center for this one. So let's center this, and then, let's see. I have a lot of different options I can go with here. So this is, I'm going to tie a piece of ribbon right alongside here. And I think this is probably the one I'm going to use, but I wanted to show you a couple of other options. So this is all the trimmings. This comes with a set of Real Red and Old Olive. I also like this one that's real earthy. This one is the braided linen. Really good option for this since I don't have any other ornamentation on here. Definitely more of an earthy feel with this braided linen trim. And then I also thought, now this comes as a combo, and this is way too big. However, look at this gold cord. You see how that gold cord just kind of brings a little bit of, just a wee bit of gold in there? So I think that would be another really nice option. However, what I'm going to go with is, I think for this one, I'm going to go with I think we'll use the gold edged one on the stepped up one. So I think for this one, I'm going to go with this. And all I'm going to do is open up my card like so. And I'm going to tie a knot, just a simple knot. Braided linen ribbon. Thank you, Jackie. That is the name that you need. And this is a holiday catalog item. So this is, we have a natural version of this in our annual catalog, but this is one that is in our, oh, there it is right there, braided linen trim. This is one that's in our holiday book. So that is a really nice addition. Now I do want to make sure that my braided linen ribbon is lying flat because you don't want it all twisted. And this is just super simple. I'm going to bring it here and do a little square knot. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a super quick and easy, simple stamping card with stamps, ink, paper, and a little bit of ribbon. Boom. Simple, done. I mean, this is the essence of simple card making, and this is the way I think we all start out stamping, but there's no reason we can't continue on with stamping the same way. I do like the fact that this enables the person who receives it to think, wow, maybe I could make something like that. Maybe I could do that. And I do like to have cards that inspire other people. I'm just going to take a little piece of scrap paper. I want to make sure that my stamp is mounted. Ah, yes, where I can stamp it and it's going to be. I was originally going to put a white layer inside here, but honestly, I think with this crumb cake, I'm just going to go with this. And this says, with heartfelt wishes for a wonderful season. Boom. Done. Quick and easy Christmas card, stamps, ink, and paper, a little bit of ribbon. If you were just starting out on your journey of card making, this is super affordable and very doable. Now let's take the same card and let's step it up just a little bit. So here we have the same stamped image, but this time we're going to add a little bit of designer paper, and I've got a couple of different options here. I also have a couple of options of cardstock bases. So I thought that, let me just show you. Here is Sahara Sand. Sahara Sand is a much lighter, cooler version of crumb cake, but I think it also gives a little higher contrast here with that darker brown ink. Now, this is a little bit more dramatic. Hey, Sarah, I'm glad you're here with us today. But you see how that contrast with the white really makes it pop. Now then, I could add a little bit of designer paper down here at the bottom, and that is going to really bring that red into focus, my little bit of red ink up here. Now, if we're not keen on these stripes, I thought this was awfully cute. This is from the same set of papers. This was just kind of on my cutting, where my cutting station is. There was a little scrap here. I thought that was really kind of nice. I like that red and white, probably better than the stripes. And this is a little bit smaller piece than this one. Largely, again, this was just an offcut that was on my cutting station. And then I also, this is some of the poinsettia place. And look at if you add those little pine cones in, it gives just a little bit of, interest. I think if I were going to use the pine cones, I might want to put it on this Sahara Sand card base. So, okay, so Jackie likes the red. So let's think about, do we like the red with the polka dots and the little hash marks, or do we like the red with the stripes? Very much dialed in to listening to what y'all are saying here, so you tell me the direction you think I should go. So this is the red here with the Sahara Sand. This is the red with the soft suede. Just really different looks. I kind of like them both. Okay, so Sue's voting for the stripes. Okay, let's put these aside. We'll go with the stripes. Now, do we want, it is kind of that candy cane stripe is what it, okay, now Kathy likes the dots. Gail likes the dots. Okay, let's see. We're gonna have some voting going here. Okay, I got 3 votes for the dots, so the dots it is. Okay, now, do we want soft suede or do we want this lighter Sahara sand? Really different looks. Because then we're gonna add some ribbon and we're gonna add a little bling and it's gonna really change things up. Okay, now there's another vote for the stripes. You know, what I should do is I should do one of each. Let's just do one of each. I can bring that stamp over here really quick and do another one. So let's just do one of each, and I think that I'm gonna put the dots here and the stripes here. Let's see. Yeah, I think maybe the stripes look better on the suede. So Sarah, you like the soft suede as a card base. I think we're just gonna do one of each and see how we get on. And I did cut these pieces of designer paper at 4 1/4 so that they totally cover the front, the bottom front of my card. So let's go there and let's go here. I think that pop of red is, again, just kind of classic Christmas. And Kathy, yeah, you like them both. So I think that's just, I'm gonna have some cards here to give away today. I hope you guys are paying attention because I'm gonna draw names right after we're done and I need addresses to be able to mail these. Now see, sometimes when you go to cut these, you don't quite get them even with your card base. So anytime you're doing end to end like that, you know, sometimes you just have to go behind there and do a little bit of trimming to make sure you're not hanging off the edge like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna start with this one and I'm gonna go in and stamp another one on my Stamparatus because it'll only take a second. And again, I am going to, I'm going to do the card, my focal piece. I'm just gonna do it straight. I'm not putting it up on dimensionals is what I was trying to say. I do like that red peeking out at the bottom. So let's dress this one and then we will do the other one. Now I think we're going to either add this red with the stripe, the silver, not silver, that's gold, or, you know, I also have the other one I didn't show you that I have here in my basket is this iridescent one is really pretty as well. Or we could go just this gold cording, which I think might be the ticket here because it's kind of narrow and I like that look there. So while I'm waiting for you guys to talk to me about what you're thinking about ribbon, I have another one of these already cut. So I'm just gonna pull Stamparatus out. This is the beauty of having your Stamparatus because you can just go back in here and do another one really quickly and easily. There's my little mark to show me where I need to put my corner. And there is my other little magnet. Here is, oh, but you know what? I put my stamp away. Oh well. We will figure it out pretty quickly though. Let's see. Iridescent on the suede card is what Sue is voting for. I think you're right because it's going to give, again, it gives you that little bit of contrast that you need. So let's ink this up really well. And as I had done before, I'm going to stamp this twice with the soft suede. We get a really nice application of ink. You know, that's the thing with Stamparatus is you can do this like 3 or 4 times and man, it comes out really, really strong. It's actually a nice thing to do when you're stamping with black because you'll get a really, really sharp black image because sometimes you just need a little bit, you know, kind of layers of ink as it were. So Kathy's agreeing with Sue. We're going to go with iridescent on the soft suede cardstock. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this ready to place. Glad I cut a couple of extra pieces here and had them ready to go so that we could just kind of experiment. And I think that's what's fun about this stamp set. The stamping is so simple that then you can kind of have some fun with different embellishments and different ribbons. And it just, it's just fun. It's just a fun way to stamp. You know, the one thing I was gonna do, and I kind of forgot, I was gonna make sure my hands were clean because look at all that soft suede ink. And I'm getting ready to pick up that Whisper White cardstock, and it would really be a shame if I mucked it up with ink. Now I will say this would be very pretty as well if you wanted to sponge it and give it that vintage look. It would just be a different look. So I think that there's a lot of ways, a lot of creative options with this one simple stamp set. And I just think it's gorgeous. I mean, whoever drew this, God bless you. The Stampin' Up! Artist, whoever did this, I love your style. Okay, so let's put the stamp set over here. My little thingies come loose here. So let's put this back so I don't lose that. See, I think then you can start to really see the differences here and start to kind of create with me a little bit. So let's bring in from our home to yours once again, right up here. Oh, I'm liking that. I think I mean, this is just 2 ink colors and a little bit, I mean, these are just scraps of designer paper. And these are from the same set. I've been doing a lot of prep for my weekend. Craft retreat is coming up in November, and this Heartwarming Hugs is the designer paper that all of my retreat guests are going to get in their goodie bag. But I'm doing a lot of, well, been prepping they get make and takes, so they get basically a free card class, and then I'm also doing a lot of fun little gifties with that same paper. So let's see how this is going to look. Ooh. Oh yeah. Good call, ladies. Where did here's my, yeah, Sue, you do need a stamp apparatus. I'm telling you, it will change your life. It will change your stamping life. It just makes things so much easier. It's really affordable. It comes with the 2 plates. It has everything you need. Now, it doesn't have the paper. And when I first got mine, well, we didn't have the paper when Stamparatus first came out. And then Stampin' Up! Released it as kind of a, like an accessory. And I must say, I really like it because I was just using scraps of paper in there. And I like having a little pad of paper that's ready to go. I cut this a little bit short, but I do like that. Really pretty. I could bring it in a little bit more. I think I like it there, right on the white. I think it's positioned better there. And this ribbon is really nice to to tie, because it has a little bit of body to it. I will say I probably like this because it's a little bit stiff. I probably like it better as a knot versus a bow because it's a little bit stiff. So let's just trim those ends a little bit, make them a little bit nicer, a little bit more finished. There we have it. Now we've got one more little piece that we're gonna do because I'm gonna add a little bit of bling. I talked you into it. So you're gonna love the Stamparatus. And it's actually, you know, I was thinking about Christmas is coming up here. I know we haven't got to Thanksgiving, but I'm already thinking about Christmas. And, you know, one of the things that I like to do myself at Christmas, and also help my stampers to do at Christmas, is to gift our crafty friends with something that is really special for them. And I do offer gift certificates for my customers during the holidays. And those are just a great way to, then people can purchase whatever they want. But it is nice to also open something under the tree. And so I've had husbands that have purchased Big Boss machines for their wives, or Stamparatus, or some of the kind of bigger tools. That's a fun way to gift a friend, a sister, a stamping friend with something special during the holidays. Now, all I've done here is I've added designer paper. So that's the only stepped up thing we've done so far. However, I did just happen to bring over here a few of these elements. And again, this is what I think is super fun about this particular stamp set and way of stamping is, sometimes if you're making like 50 of one card, you get bored. You can add little changes here, and maybe you only have enough of this ribbon for 5 cards or 10 cards, but you need to make 30 cards. So then you can kind of dig into your ribbon drawer and go into, change them up just a little bit. Jackie, yes, that is exactly right. So one of the things I mentioned about Stamparatus when I first started using it earlier on is that you do not want these magnets to touch each other. They are super, super strong. And so if you need to get them apart, oftentimes they will break. I will say only one time, and I've had my Stamparatus for about 2 years. One time I did accidentally get them together, and I was able to get them apart. But I have known people, and they warn you. I think Stampin' Up! Even has a thing that says, do not let these touch. They are breakable. You can get replacements, but I have not found the need to do that. Okay, so let's talk about what kind of bling we want to use. Now, I have these little gold enamel dots, which might be kind of a nice touch. I have just rhinestones. I thought these might kind of look fun as almost like little snowflakes. And then my favorite, these holiday rhinestones, there's that little pop of red. And I thought, well, we could do something like that and do and I haven't stuck it down yet because I'm going to wait for a little bit of feedback here. I could do just a little pop of red there. Maybe that's too much red. I could also do a couple of these on the tree to make it look like I've got, little bits of red Christmas lights on the tree. So you're liking the rhinestones, Cheryl. Yay. I think the rhinestones are going to be better this is adding a little bit more color than I want to add. So I think I'm either going to add red rhinestones or the clear ones. And the clear, just the regular rhinestones, I kind of thought we could just kind of maybe do them like, almost like little bits of snow falling in the sky. And maybe even touching our Christmas tree. Well, it's not a Christmas, it's a tree because it's an evergreen tree in our Christmas card, so we can make it into a Christmas card. Now, you like the gold ones on the suede. Okay, let's try that and see. This is the beauty of I haven't really stuck these down yet. Let's see, let's try this and see. And I'm going to use these really small, it was stuck to there. Let's use these really small ones and see if we can decorate this Christmas tree and give it just a little bit of added bling beauty. I will say these gold ones give you a little bit of that warm color tying into the soft suede. Now I know that Gail has just left me a comment, so I need to see what she's telling me. You had one in your hand this week, and as I went to, yeah. Okay, so your husband was able to use a razor blade to get them apart. Yeah, it can happen, and that is why if you watched when I was using my Stamparatus, what I did was, you see how they're positioned here in their little kind of garages, like little toy cars in their garages? I try to use them the same way they're stored. So I try to put them on my card that way and then lay them on my stamping station that way. And then when I put them back, I mean, they grab really quickly. So yeah, definitely some little things there on Stamparatus. So what are we thinking about this gold here as opposed to the clear? Let me see if I can get these off. Yeah, they're coming up. I need another opinion here. I will say, I think the gold, the one thing I don't like about them is because of this ribbon I've used, I think of this has a little bit more of a bluey tint, and I think it might be better with the silver or with the red. We could bring in more of the red. So I do, you know, these holiday rhinestones, I use them all year. These were introduced last year, but this pool party ones, ooh, I wonder how with the green, ooh, that might actually, or even these light, you know what? These pool party ones might pick up some of that blue in there. Is that too much? What do we think? Okay, Cheryl's telling me the silver. That was kind of my first thought too, was just to go with the classic silver rhinestones. So I think, let's just do a little bit here. And I think instead of putting them on the tree, I think I might just put them in the atmosphere, as it were, and giving us some little blingy bits of snow coming down. Oops, see, that one is escaping me. You know what? I got a little tiny bit of a smudge there. I think I'm gonna, you know, bling will cover a multitude of stamping errors, which I so appreciate. Let's go there. Okay, so I think that is finished. Stamps, ink, paper. And then we just added a little bit more. So where is my original card? I want to show you where we went, if I can find it. Oh, here we go. And I think I'm just going to do the 3 rhinestones there. I don't think I need any more. I'll definitely weigh in on that. I usually do either 3 or 5 because you don't want them to be, you typically don't want an even number because then your eye wants to make it matchy-matchy, and that's actually kind of nice. There's 5 on there, and hopefully I have not lost you all because my Facebook feed just lost on my computer. So I'm glad you're liking these. I am too. The only thing I have left to do is my inside greeting. So here's our simple, and then here's our stepped up. Sorry, we're having trouble playing the video. Lovely. Let's see, so I can, before I sign off with you guys, so in 45 minutes, you know, we've made these 3 cards, and that was with kind of figuring out some design work and stuff like that. So my point being that these are super quick and easy, and I literally just pulled out some card bases that I already had made. I'm sure you guys are like me, in the sense that you end up having some card bases left over from projects, and you put them into a basket or a file or a drawer so that you can come back to them when you're ready. There is with heartfelt wishes for a wonderful season. So there's my inside greeting ready to go. Now this one I am going to need to put a little bit of Whisper White in here because it's a little bit hard to write on that. I hope I didn't lose you. Did I lose you? Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and then I will bring the camera back up to see if you're still there, which I hope you are. I don't know why Facebook does this, but every time I'm on here with you guys live, I watch through my computer to see what you guys are seeing. And somehow lately, over the last about 6 weeks, Facebook just bumps me off like repeatedly. So let's pop this right in here. This was a really good call on this ribbon. So I think Sue had that bright idea. And this is where that little bit of ribbon just adds such a nice touch. So there we went from simple to stepped up. Here's stepped up and stepped up. And where did simple go? I keep misplacing my simple. Oh, it's underneath me. Simple and stepped up with Light Me Home. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to see. I'm hoping you're still here. Yay, you are. Okay. Okay. I tell you, this new tripod I got with the hopes of being able to show better. It gives me a wider angle for my filming. So yay, Mary. I didn't even see you here, Mary. So welcome. So that is it for today. Simple and stepped up stamping. Don't forget, we have a Designer Series paper sale, 15% off the paper that I used today. And let's see, Light Me Home, gorgeous stamp set. You definitely want to add it to your collection of Christmas stamps. I know many of us collect Christmas stamps, maybe more than any other stamp. That light post is really gorgeous. If you are a fan of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe novel, Christian novel, you would love that lamppost. Has become a real iconic Christmas image. And so Light Me Home is the stamp set. I will have supply list here for you in just a few moments. Thank you so much for coming by. Don't forget, I will be back here Tuesday at 2 o'clock for Teach Me Tuesday. And in the meantime, take care. Have fun stamping, and God bless.